Welcome. Today, we will explore the story of Pretty Woman, a movie that teaches us about love, kindness, and how people can change. Let's dive into this unforgettable story. Pretty Woman is a romantic comedy film. It was directed by Gary Marshall and released in 1990. The film stars Richard Gere as Edward Lewis, a rich businessman, and Julia Roberts as Vivian Ward, a kind-hearted prostitute. Julia Roberts became very famous after this film. She was nominated for an Academy Award for her performance. The film was a huge success. It earned over $463 million at the box office and is considered one of the most romantic films of all time. Now, let's talk about how the film was made. The director, Gary Marshall, wanted to create a modern fairy tale. He chose Richard Gere and Julia Roberts for the lead roles because he believed they had great chemistry. Julia Roberts prepared for the role by studying the life of sex workers. She wanted to show Vivian's kindness and strength. Richard Gere prepared for the role by learning about the life of a businessman. He wanted to show Edward's loneliness and his journey to love. Now, let's dive into the story of Pretty Woman. The film begins with Edward Lewis, a wealthy businessman. He is in Los Angeles for a week to make a big business deal. Edward is very rich, but not happy. He is lonely and does not have time for love. One night, Edward gets lost in Hollywood. He asks for directions from a young woman named Vivian Ward. Vivian is a prostitute, but she is kind and funny. Edward asks Vivian to show him the way to his hotel. When they arrive, Edward offers Vivian money to stay with him for the night. Vivian agrees because she needs the money. The next morning, Edward asks Vivian to stay with him for the whole week. He offers her $3,000. Vivian accepts because she needs the money to pay her rent. Edward also asks Vivian to go with him to business meetings and dinners. He wants her to look like a rich woman, so he takes her shopping on Rodeo Drive. At first, the shop assistants are rude to Vivian because she does not look rich. But when they see Edward's money, they change their attitude. Vivian buys beautiful dresses and looks like a princess. During the week, Edward and Vivian spend a lot of time together. They talk, laugh, and get to know each other. Edward is surprised by Vivian's kindness and honesty. Vivian is surprised by Edward's loneliness and sadness. They start to care for each other. Edward takes Vivian to a polo match and an opera. Vivian has never been to these places before, but she enjoys them. Edward also helps Vivian feel confident and beautiful. One night, Edward's lawyer, Philip, tries to hurt Vivian. Edward gets very angry and fires Philip. This shows that Edward cares about Vivian. Vivian also helps Edward with his business deal. She gives him good advice, and Edward realizes that Vivian is smart and kind. At the end of the week, Edward offers Vivian money to stay with him longer. Vivian is hurt because she wants Edward to love her, not just pay her. She says, "I want the fairy tale." Vivian leaves Edward and goes back to her old life. But Edward realizes that he loves Vivian. He does not want to lose her. Edward goes to Vivian's apartment in his limousine. He stands outside her window with flowers and says, "What happens after he climbs up the tower and rescues her?" Vivian smiles and says, "She rescues him right back." Edward climbs up the fire escape and they kiss. Vivian leaves her old life and goes with Edward. The film ends happily with Vivian and Edward together. Now let's talk more about the film's themes and impact. Pretty Woman is a film about love, kindness, and how people can change. It shows us that money and status are not important. What is important is love and kindness. Vivian and Edward come from very different worlds, but they find happiness together. The film also teaches us about self-respect and confidence. Vivian learns to believe in herself, and Edward learns to open his heart. The film's music is also very important. It includes songs like "Oh Pretty Woman" by Roy Orbison and "It Must Have Been Love" by Roxette. These songs add a romantic feeling to the film. Pretty Woman was a huge success. It earned over $463 million at the box office. It received positive reviews from critics. Julia Roberts became a star after this film. Critics praised her performance and her chemistry with Richard Gere. Audiences loved the film for its romantic story and happy ending. Pretty Woman has left a lasting impact on cinema. It is considered one of the most romantic films of all time. The film's message about love, kindness, and self-respect continues to inspire audiences around the world. It reminds us that everyone deserves a happy ending. If you enjoyed this journey through the story of Pretty Woman, please give this video a thumbs up. Leave a comment and subscribe to our channel for more stories. Your support helps us bring more inspiring stories to life. Thank you for watching. Remember, everyone deserves a fairy tale. Until next time.